Activists have gathered right outside the US Consulate in Sandton here in Johannesburg in protest amid the ongoing war between Israel and Iran. And organisers have called on both the US as well as South African governments to increase pressure on Israel to halt its military operations in Gaza, highlighting widespread concern of civilian casualties. Well, our reporter Lerato Makola is in Sandton at the march where the protest is currently underway, and she joins us now for another update. Lerato, it's good afternoon to you once again. So how is the protest action going so far in Sandton?
We're coming to you live from Sandton, just outside the US Consulate, where different organizations have gathered here for a peaceful march. The march is peaceful, but right now I'm just going to bring in the General Secretary of SACP, Lerato, to tell us more about today's protest. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Makola. Well, what message is SACP sending to the international community through your participation today?
The main thing is that we want to stop the war, the Israel aggression that is illegal outside the framework of international law, extreme provocation against the Iranian government and the people of Iran on the basis of manufactured ideas, lies regarding the weaponization of nuclear enrichment in Iran, whereas Israel itself has many warheads. In other words, it has got nuclear bombs and is not even under international inspection or supervision. And it's now allowed to do as it pleases. So we are here to give solidarity to the people of Iran and the rest of the people of the Middle East who are under the aggression of this one single state that is destabilizing the entire region. It's attacking Iran now, it's continue to attack Palestine, especially in Gaza, killing people who are on the queues for food, and it has been destabilizing Lebanon, it has destabilized Syria, it continues to destabilize the entire region, Yemen and others. So this is the most devilish state you can come across. And we're calling on international community to isolate Israel and to condemn this aggression that is outside the framework of any law that is possible, including international law in this regard.
And the UN Security Council held an emergency meeting yesterday. So do you think the Council has the power to stop this conflict?
Well, the Council has got the power if, for instance, the United States can agree with the stopping of the war. But unfortunately, the United States is the funder of the war. Is one of the main beneficiaries of this destabilization of the Middle East. And therefore, Israel is just a proxy of US imperialism in the Middle East. And we have seen, I watched the proceedings of the Security Council yesterday. The Israeli representative was extremely arrogant and not dealing with the real issues, actually launching personal attack on the Iranian representative. This is completely unacceptable. But it shows even at that level that there's no leadership that can actually come out of this crisis that we have. But what is important is the fact that the Iranians this time have been able to utilize within the framework of international law to respond to the aggression and the attacks on their country. And they've scuppered that nonsense of security, so-called, the Iron Dome of Israel, and they've shown that they can respond themselves. And this is very important because all these others have not had the ability to penetrate and respond. And therefore, it shows that this is not just an ordinary country that they think they will walk away, they'll just walk over and destroy it and finish it just like that. It's going to be a huge resistance.
So you don't think, are we likely to see efforts of peace talks between the two countries?
We have always encouraged for peace and unity and sovereignty of nations. But in the context in which Israel undermines all of that, the issue is whether the Americans want peace, whether Netanyahu wants peace, which obviously we know he doesn't. That's why he launches these aggressions without any form of provocation whatsoever, without any notice. So that is why the role of other countries, for instance, Russia and China, becomes very important, especially their role within the UN Security Council. But unfortunately, the US and other permanent members of the UN Security Council have got veto powers. So they can always veto any other collective agreement. And Israel doesn't need permission of anyone to continue to attack these countries. That's part of the problem that has been created. That's why we need solidarity from across the world, from the progressive forces, from government in the south, in the former colonized countries to stand together and support Iran and give it solidarity and continue to support Palestinian people who are continuously under this aggression of Israeli regime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. SACP General Secretary Soli Mapaela. Well, Alicia, what I can tell you is that according to the White House, we know that President Donald Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether they're joining forces with Israel or not. But for now, back to you in studio.
Thank you so much to SABC News reporter there, Lerato Makola. She's joining us from Sandton as demonstrators are protesting against the Israel-Iran conflict.